come for matchmaking, they pray for a good match. They say that they are serious about marriage. They even say that they are tired of wasting time. But when they get matched, guess what happens? Good morning. How was your night? Good morning. Good evening. How did your day go? That's what happens. And that is where the conversation dies. So today, we need to address something very deep. Matchmaking is not the problem, but guess what the problem is? Your conversation skill is the problem. Of course, I would definitely explain why I said so. You see, matchmaking introduces you to someone who is potentially aligned with your values and intentions. It does not create chemistry. I hope you know that. It doesn't create depth. It doesn't even create connection. But you do. And if all you bring to the table is recycled greetings, dry one at that, then even the best match will feel dry. That's the truth. Let me ask you something. If someone spoke to you every day and never went beyond surface level, would you ever feel seen? I'm asking you, would you feel seen? Of course, no, you won't. Would you feel known? Would you feel excited? We all know the answer. No. Definitely, you're going to feel bored. And boredom kills potential. Now, let's break this down properly. The first truth I want you to know is that you're not curious enough. You see, conversation is not about filling space. Rather, it's supposed to be about exploring another human being. That's why I said you're probably not curious enough. Because if you're actually curious enough, you would want to explore whoever you're matched with. Right? For example, if someone says that they had a stressful day, that is not supposed to be the end of that conversation. As a matter of fact, it's supposed to be the beginning. So instead of you saying, sorry about that, you're supposed to ask, what made it stressful? Is that something that usually happens? And how do you usually unwind after such a day like that? Can you see? Now you're learning how they handle pressure. Now you're discovering emotional intelligence. Now you're also building intimacy. Do you get it? So curiosity creates closeness. And if you're not curious about the person you were matched with, be honest with yourself. Are you truly ready for marriage? Or you're just ready for attention? Do you know they are not the same? So, the second truth is you're probably afraid of depth. Some of you just stay on good morning and good night because you're afraid. Afraid of saying the wrong thing. Afraid of being judged. Afraid of vulnerability. But I want you to know that marriage is actually built on vulnerability. If you cannot discuss values, vision, fears, goals, and lessons from the past experiences, so how are you going to discuss real life later? You should be able to ask, what does marriage mean to you? What kind of home are you trying to build? What did you learn from your past relationship? How do you handle conflict? These are not actually interview questions. These are compatibility questions. And if someone is serious about marriage, they should not be afraid of these conversations. And this brings me to number 3 points. That you probably lack conversational skill, not good matches. Let me teach you something practical. Closed questions usually end conversations, while open-ended questions grow them. How do I mean? Okay, closed questions like, did you have a good day? Instead, ask questions like, what was the most interesting part of your day? That's an open-ended question. Do you understand? Another example of closed-ended question is, do you like your job? Instead of asking that, Why can't you ask a question, an open-ended question like, what made you choose that career path? The person will have the opportunity to talk and you can learn more about them. So, did you see the difference? One can be answered with just yes or no, while the other requires what? Reflection. And reflection builds connection. I want you to also learn the art of sharing. If someone answers a question, do not just move to the next one like an interrogation. No. Respond, relate, add your own perspective. Do you understand? This is what I'm trying to explain to you. For example, if they say that they value peace in a relationship, you too can say something like, I value peace too, especially seeing how conflict affected my parents growing up. It taught me the importance of communication. What you've done is that you have actually added depth. Now they understand you. Now there is emotional exchange. Does that make any sense to you? Okay. So the fourth thing I want to mention is marriage is daily conversation. Some of you want marriage, or let me say, some of you say that you want marriage. Marriage is not wedding pictures. I hope you know that. It's not couple goals. It's not even matching outfits. Marriage is deeper than that. Marriage has to do with daily conversation, discussing bills, discussing stress, discussing parenting, discussing in-laws, discussing disappointment, discussing dreams. So it's all about communication. It's all about conversation. And if you cannot sustain meaningful dialogue for 2 weeks after being matched, how are you going to sustain it for 30 years? How? This is not actually to shame you. Rather, this is to prepare you. Because many relationships do not fail due to lack of compatibility. No, they actually fail due to lack of good communication, lack of communication depth. The number 5 truth that I want to talk about is that you should develop yourself. You see, sometimes the issue is this. You actually do not have much to say. Not because you're not intelligent, but because you're not developing yourself. Read books, listen to podcasts, learn about emotional intelligence, understand attachment styles, have hobbies, have goals, have opinions. A person with substance would naturally speak with substance. So, depth attracts depth. Now, let me challenge you. Before you ask for another match, ask yourself, am I a safe conversational space? Am I interesting to talk to? Do I ask thoughtful questions? Do I actually listen attentively? Do I expand conversations or shut them down? All these are important questions that you need to ask yourself. Because matchmaking can only introduce you, it cannot speak for you. Do you understand now? And here is my final thoughts. If you truly want a meaningful marriage, you need to learn to build meaningful dialogue. Stop outsourcing connection. Start practicing communication. The quality of your conversations will determine the quality of your relationship. Matchmaking actually opens the door, but your words, your conversational styles would determine or decide whether love would walk in or walk out. That's it. With this, we've come to the end of today's talk, and I do hope you got value from the whole thing that I've said so far. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, I am Ifedayo Ifedi Maggie, popularly called Maggie the Shakara Matchmaker. I'm a certified relationship coach, professional matchmaker, certified mediator, and love curator with a background in psychology. If you have not subscribed to this channel or followed this page, what are you waiting for? Of course, you need to do that right away, because obviously we have a lot to do together, all right? And if you're single and searching for love, if you're actually psychologically, emotionally ready for a serious relationship, I run a premium matchmaking community only for intentional singles who are ready for love. And this community is only meant for professionals, working class men and women, businessmen and women who are actually ready for love. So, if that is who you are, or if that's a place you want to be, all you need to do is to send me a message and I would explain to you what it takes to be a member of our premium matchmaking community. I also want you to know that membership fee applies. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you follow this page or subscribe to this channel just in case you're yet to do so. Till I come your way again next time, it's not a goodbye, but it's a bye for now.